Greetings, everybody. This is Drax bringing you your daily ride home, a podcast where we talk about life, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. Because sometimes you need to know that you're not the only crazy person out there. As always, we bring this podcast to you once a week currently, and with your continued love and support, we hope to be able to bring this to you every day. You can find us on YouTube at Your Daily Ride Home, or you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/YDRH. As always, buckle up and let's roll out. Alright, riders. Today I want to talk about two different things that are very similar, but not exactly the same. I want to talk about what I call the zone. And this is a heightened state of awareness. And then I also want to talk about something a little bit crazier that some of you might not fully understand. I want to talk about what I perceive as magic. And I know you're already going crazy. This dude's talking about magic and the zone, but hear me out. I mean, it's not as crazy as one might think if you've ever had these experiences in your life. So let's start with the zone. The zone I have experienced only in combat, so only when either in a very intense sparring session or in a life or death situation. And the first time I experienced the zone, I was in a Oklahoma backcountry, riding a three-wheeler, having a great time, and we came up on it was a really rocky, muddy area that had dried where it had like tractor ruts in the ground. And I thought to myself, I guess the kids would call it YOLO right now, but I mean, I was like, live fast, die young. And I freaking hit this just as fast as I could on this three-wheeler. And I made it through. No big deal. So I rode down a little bit further, ended up turning around because it was starting to get dark and I needed to head back to the house and get out of those, Oklahoma backcountry. And I turned back around and I came through and I was like, you know what? We did the live fast, die young. We did the YOLO. We're not going to do that again. So I actually went through this field, through this tractor rutted area, and the front wheel hit the tractor rut corner, slid down into it, which pushed my thumb into the gas, which ramped the other side of the tractor rut and sent me up into the air and into a barbed wire fence. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's not good. But that's not even the crazy thing. When my thumb hit, and as soon as I launched into the air, I experienced an out-of-body experience. I left my body. I was able to see the three-wheeler with me on it. I was able to see the fences that I was about to hit. I was able to see the fence posts. And I was able to calculate out that the back tire was going to catch one of those posts. Now, I wasn't able to do anything about this. I was calculating out how to twist, how to turn. I actually turned the four-wheeler from a vertical position to a horizontal position, and then the back tire hit the post and I was slingshotted forward, which I woke up back in my body and I was holding two pieces of barbed wire together, and I was pretty messed up. But the barbed wire had missed my eye, cut a hole in my cheek, and it had done some damage. But that was the first time I ever experienced what I consider the zone, which is a heightened state of awareness. Because I was able to do all of these calculations. I was able to understand exactly what was about to happen. I was able to react. This entire experience probably lasted maybe 4 or 5 seconds. Now, I'm not great with math. I'm not a super intellectual thinker. I'm not a really good speller. But in that moment, I was fully aware of the mathematical problem that was presented to me. I was aware that there was no way to solve the problem where I didn't get injured. I was able to calculate the best course of action, take that course of action, and minimize the damage to myself with an almost supernatural level of intelligence. And I know what you're saying, crazy. But hey, it's what happened. It's my experience. And I always wanted to reach that level again, but it eluded me for years. And to be honest, I probably didn't try as hard as I should have. I didn't focus on it. There were other things going on. But that experience showed me that there was a next level to where I was. And it really was through martial arts and fighting that I was able to hit that zone again. And I've hit it a few times. And I don't know, maybe y'all have the same experience where you're in a combat situation. And for instance, me and a buddy of mine, we do sword fighting. You've heard that on this podcast before. I teach sword fighting. Well, I used to teach sword fighting. I really haven't done that in a couple of years, but we've always been very athletic, very combative. You know, we enjoy fighting. We enjoy what fighting does for the body. We enjoy what it does for the mind. And we enjoy all of its benefits. So me and a buddy of mine are in the backyard. We're fighting. We've got swords. We're going at it. We both hit the zone at the same time. The only time this has ever happened to us. We were in a full fight mode. There was no holding back. There was no safety precautions. We literally were both giving it our all. I watched a blade pass less than millimeters away from my face. And with complete confidence and an utter understanding that that blade couldn't hit me if it wanted to, because I had already done the math that it told me there's no way that this sword can hit me. And I'm watching me do this, and I'm watching my buddy do this, and we're literally we're going at it. I mean, full force, full intent, and we're just watching ourselves deflect each other's blows. And there came a point where I ended up getting hit. And even before that happened, I had already done the math. I had already done the equations that were necessary to know that there was no way I could block it. I had made a mistake previously that had led to this moment. And you see this in TV and stuff all the time, like the Jedi. They have this intuition. But it's so much more than that. And it's really, for me, a higher state of existence where you exist in a far better mental ability, a far better mental state. And it's insane when you're sitting there in it, watching it. And, to this day, it would be amazing if I could reach that point at will. But I've never figured out how. And maybe some of you have. So if you've ever had that, or had this in particular stuff happen to you, or if you can actually attain it by, entering some sort of thought process, leave it in the comments below. Let me reach out to you. I'd love to hear your experience on it and how it has affected you. But for me, it's truly, it's just a weird state of being. And I think it's really, I don't even know enough about it to explain what it really is. It's a higher level of existence. And, I hear people talk about vibrations and intuition and this, that, and the other. And I don't know how much I believe in all of that, but I do believe that from the experiences I've had with a heightened awareness, I believe that we live in a very mediocre mindset, because I know through my own personal experiences that there is a level of understanding and a level of intellect way higher than what I normally sit at. So that is my experience with hyper awareness, or a heightened sense of awareness. If you've ever had it, let me know. Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. The other thing I want to talk a little bit about is magic. What people perceive as magic. And this one's even crazier than the heightened state of awareness, because a lot of people can understand through, through adrenaline and a chemical rush that your brain will enter a heightened state of awareness. But with magic, people they don't understand what's going on with it. So here's a story that happened to me, and I tell this story a lot. So there was a point in my life where I had no money. I'm going to say that again. I had $0, 0 pennies. I had no money. I had absolutely nothing. And I lived like that for about a year, where, if I had $5, it was amazing. But during this time, I had a radical reprioritization of my values and the way I think. And me and a buddy of mine were walking, because, when you have no money and you have nothing to do, you walk and you talk. And we were just walking around, and my buddy said, man, it would be really awesome if we could get some Bluebell ice cream. And this was his favorite, snack in the world. This was his thing. He loved ice cream. And of course, we both don't have any money. And I simply said, hey, if we could get some money, that'd be great. I didn't say it to me, and you don't have to have my viewpoints or whatever, but I said it to my higher power. I said it to God.